Hi guys, my name is Souvik. I'm an IT security analyst, a Python programmer, and a web application penetrator at Indian Cybersecurity Solutions. So today I'm gonna show you a part from a OWASP Top 10 or Open Web Application Security Project Top 10. So basically today we will be seeing the topic called SQL injection. So in this SQL injection part, I am going to show you three types of things. One is how you can bypass the authentication through SQL injection, or we commonly call it blind SQL injection. The second thing that I am going to show you is SQL injection through get method. So basically there are various HTTP methods like get, post, delete, options, put. So we will be mostly uh, seeing on the two methods, that is get and post, that is used in a website. So we will be seeing SQL injection through get method, and the third we will be seeing SQL injection through post method. So going on to the first topic, that is authentication bypass through SQL injection, or we commonly call it blind SQL injection. So basically what it is. So basically if you see a web application or a web page, there is, if it is a static web page, then it only has a front end. Or if you see a dynamic web page, it has three parts. Web page having three parts are, one is the front end, one is the back end, and the third one is the DBMS or the database. So basically, so what it happens, so in the front end it is the page with having images, text, input box, and everything. So these are in the front end. So what happens in the back end, suppose you have seen in many website there is a login form or a registration form. So basically what happens when you fill up the login form or the registration form, then you press next, continue, or submit. So basically what it happens, the data from the front end travels to the back end to get processed. It is then checked in the back end. The queries are set there, and it is checked the value that is getting passed from front end to back end is correct or not. And after it goes to the back end, after it is been processed, it goes to the database. So to get stored, or to from the database, if it is taken out and then matched in the backend, so there are many types of processes that goes on. So basically what happens in this authentication bypass through SQL injection, suppose when I'm having a page where there is a login page, where there is a place input box to give you username and your password. So basically it's something like a username. Suppose I'm giving it in, and suppose there is a password, and that also, suppose I'm giving here admin. Backend where there are some backend codes written. So if it wants to go to the database, so it has some DBS queries or database management queries. So how the query looks like is star select star suppose the database name is user, where username equal to, in this case, that is admin, and pass equal to, in this case also it is admin. What it happens, it selects the data from the field of username. So basically let me get clear with how a database is structured. So first of all, if you see a database, uh, you will see there is a database first. Then inside the database there come tables, and inside that tables come columns. So basically where the columns are and the rows are, the data is getting stored. So basically in this query what we are doing, we are selecting everything from a table called user, where in this column username and the column password or pass here has these values called admin and admin. If it finds out this type of values, then suppose a backend query is written, so if it type of thing, then it will give us a entry to the next page or admin page, anything. So if it doesn't find out, you have seen when you write wrong username and password, you see that it shows that incorrect username or password, wrong username or password, and this type of error messages are generated. So basically, if a web page has a vulnerability of authentication bypass or has a vulnerability of SQL injection, then we can directly bypass this thing and go inside the web page, the default web page. So let's see some SQL queries to bypass. Is the basic SQL query that we call is x or x equal to x. So basically what it does, so if you see, I copy the same query and paste it here. So if I replace my values with this query, so what it happens, it tricks the database to think that this username and pass that we are giving is authentic or genuine username or password. So I think every one of you have read what is OR gate. So basically in OR gate what happens, in OR gate what uh, if suppose there is a value in binary codes in computer language, we the computer understands on their language of 1 or 0. So 1 means true and 0 means false, and that's how it works. So in or how it happens, if I write here 1 or 0, then the value equal to will be also 1. Any one of anything is true, so the other value, the answer will be also true. So this is how it works, the OR works. If both of them are false, then it is false. If both of them are true, then it is true. So basically what we are doing, we are tricking the SQL to think that this value that I am passing is a genuine and authentic value. So let's check this on a live website. So this is a website that we are gonna see the authentication by injection with a basic script. So suppose I go here in this management reporting site. So basically if I write here any username, suppose it's Souvik, my name, and the password is suppose password, and I press login. So basically what it gives me and generates an error that is invalid input, please login through given credentials. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use the same my basic command, that is inside these two fields, username and password, to check that it has this SQL injection vulnerability or not. So basically I have put at this and I press the login button. So it is right now going into the backend and getting processed, and see, we have entered and bypassed this login algorithm of this web application, and we have entered as admin inside the website. So this is how we bypass this authentication through SQL injection queries. So then I will show you how to bypass this uh, authentication through SQL injection by using burp suite. So let's see by using burp suite. So if you don't know what burp suite is a tool to the request that is sent to the server through our computer, and it also captures requests that comes from the server to us. So basically what we do, burp suite is a tool that stands in between our side and the server side. So there are two sides, that one we call that ourselves is the client side and the server is called the server side. So whenever suppose you search something, it's a basic search in google.com, that news, if you what it does, it takes the request for news and goes to the server end and brings the news from the server end to your client end. So basically what Burpsuit does, it sits in the middle to capture that request. So basically what we do in Burpsuit, we set up a proxy called 127.0.01, that is also called a local host. What it does, any request that is being sent from our computer first goes to the proxy, and then if we forward it, it goes to the server end, and anything that comes from the server end waits for in the proxy section, and then if we forward it, then it comes to us. So let's start Burpsuit. So we have started our Burpsuit. So basically what we will do, we will set up this Burpsuit. So there are many tools available in Burpsuit. So we will be more focusing on the proxy and the intruder tab of Burpsuit. First of all, what we will do, we will save, we will edit our port. My default port is 8081 and the specific address, the localhost or 127.0.0.1. So I will then go to intercept. Basically it is on, I will keep it off right now. Then I will be setting my proxy of the my browser to the localhost, and I will be giving the same port as I have given in Burpsuit. So first of all, I will be going to a new web page. So as you can see, this is a computer training center where I'm giving suppose a user ID, anything like is 1094, any random value, a password called as a password, and I am pressing login. So what is happening, it's showing me incorrect user ID. Or so basically what I will do, I will be capturing this request that I want to pass the server. So I have set my proxy and set my Burpsuit. I have to start my intercept, and then if I press login, so basically what it does, my Burpsuit captures the request. So as you can see in the variable t1 and t2, my two values 1094 and a pass is being given, and it was being passed to the host called computeredukolkata.com. Okay, so basically what I will do, I will send it to intruder and check with more SQL injection queries. So my attack target will be computeredukolkata.com, and I will be using a port 80. As you can see why it's using port 80, you can see that there is no HTTPS connection. If it would have been using HTTPS connection, this port would be 443. So then I will put the position tab of Burpsuit. I will clear all the position that Burpsuit adds in default. I will be selecting my two positions that I will be giving my SQL queries, that is one is T1 and another one is T2. Okay, so there are some attack types in Burpsuit or in the intruder tab. One is sniper, one is battering ram, one is pitchfork, one is cluster bomb. So basically what sniper and battering ram does is uses only one set of payload for each and every position that we set. And what makes pitchfork and cluster bomb different from this is that we can use number of payloads on the basis of number of positions we give. So we are having here two positions that we gonna have give some payload, and with a combination of payloads, and we are going to see which payload are going to bypass this SQL vulnerability. So basically I will be choosing cluster bomb, and then I will go into the payload section. As you can see, I have given two payloads, T1 and T2. So I also have two type of payloads, or payload 1 and payload 2. So basically let me bring out this payload. So suppose these are my payloads, I'm gonna copy it, I'm pasting it here, and then for the payload 2 I'm also pasting the same thing. So you will be asking why I'm pasting the same payloads for payload set 1 and payload set 2. That is basically what it does. This cluster bomb, what it will do, it will use some combinations and be using this one set of payload in both of the positions. So let's start this attack. So as you can see, this attack has been started. So what PubSub does, before sending one thing, it sends one payload first, that is a blank payload, to check the length. You may be asking what is the length. So first of all, you may see that length is 8780. So basically what it does, this is the length that we can see that comes as a response from the server side. Okay, so you can see the status codes, that is 200, that means okay. So we have some 5 status codes in our HTTP codes. The first one is that's 100, that means that is still connecting. The second is 200, that is okay. The third is 300, ranging 300. The 302 is called redirection. The fourth is 400, which we can call it server error. And then there is a 500, that is an internal server error. So basically what we have to do right now, this thing is carrying on using its payload 1 and payload 2 on that two positions. So first thing that we're going to see, we have to find out a length greater than this, that is 8780. So if we click on length, so we get some length that is greater than 8780, that is 8800. So basically you can see the status is 302, that means redirection, the page is redirecting to somewhere. Then let us see where it is getting redirected. So we have got our desired value, so I am pausing my attack. So let this thing get paused. So I will be asking my response in the browser. I'm copying it and pasting it here. Okay, I think PubSub is taking time, so no worries guys. So what we can do here, basically if I double click here, so I'm having my payload 1 and payload 2. So first of all, what I will be doing, I will be closing my proxy here and I will be connecting to the same thing. So see, I am again logging in with my wrong credentials. So as you can see, from the intruder tab, there is one payload 1 and payload 2. So I will be using this Payloads, first I'm gonna give you some wrong credentials again, anything. So what is giving me that it is incorrect user ID or password. Then I will be using my values that I have got a 302 redirection. This is my payload 1 for the user ID, and this is my payload 2 for my password. I'm gonna press login and then see what happens. See, we have gone inside this bypass this authentication of SQL. So it is giving me hi cyber 71, that is the default admin name, I think so. So you can see, we can see some questions and anything. So basically what we have done, we have bypassed this SQL bypassed this authentication through SQL injection using PubSuite. So that's all for authentication bypass through SQL injection, or what we commonly call it as a blind SQL injection. The next topic that we want to see is SQL injection through get method.